50 Cent calls out Detroit rapper 42 Doug for giving Big Meech $100,000 following his release from prison.
The stage was set for one of the most talked about returns in hip-hop history, yet everything crumbled at the 11th hour. The much-hyped Big Meech Welcome Back concert promised star power and redemption for a figure many considered legendary. But when the event got axed without warning, it sent shockwaves through the industry. Rumors began swirling. Was this just bad management or something far more dramatic? Let's dive into the twisted saga of Big Meech, his canceled concert, and the raging storm brewing with 50 Cent.
I'm sitting there analyzing it like, damn, wanted some bread, or maybe he spent all the bread because he made a couple of million with 5.
No one saw it coming. February 13th was supposed to be a landmark day, a huge celebration honoring Big Meech's newfound freedom after serving nearly 2 decades behind bars. The venue was locked in, the Amerant Bank Arena in Sunrise, Florida. The lineup included some of the biggest stars in rap: Lil Baby, Rick Ross, 21 Savage, Sexy Red, Kodak Black, Moneybagg Yo, Boozy, and more. It was gonna be the place to be, especially for longtime fans curious to see Meech reclaim the spotlight.
BMF boss, the legend Big Meech, has a GoFundMe page.
What?
It was said that this GoFundMe page was set up to assist him in paying his bills since...
Then, without warning, the venue dropped a bomb. The concert was canceled due to unforeseen circumstances. Social media erupted. Some speculated that the show wasn't selling enough tickets, while others insisted key performers had pulled out. Regardless of the reason, many felt the entire ordeal was too abrupt. One moment, rappers were hyping their appearances online. The next, the event vanished. But that wasn't the whole story. Fans started pointing fingers at a man known for stirring trouble, 50 Cent. People accused him of being the puppet master behind the scenes, especially since he's been taking verbal shots at Big Meech for weeks.
50 Cent posts the photo of 42 Doug and says, "Your daddy, my ninja emoji."
Was 50's influence strong enough to shut down a major concert, or were bigger issues with funding and logistics to blame? To fully grasp the depth of this chaos, you have to go back to how 50 Cent became tied to the Black Mafia family. Not only did he produce the popular BMF television series, but he also took Meech's son, Lil Meech, under his wing, turning him into a budding actor and star of the show. For a while, it seemed like 50 and the Meech family shared a mutually beneficial alliance. The BMF brand soared in the mainstream, and 50 used the notoriety of the storyline to boost his TV empire.
He was convicted of running a huge criminal enterprise stretching from Atlanta to Detroit and several other states. The story of Big Meech.
However, when Big Meech himself finally walked free, the dynamic shifted. Suddenly, Meech was no longer just a name fueling a TV show. He was a real man, back in the world, determined to capitalize on his own legend. At first, the world thought 50 and Meech might unite to create epic moments, but subtle tensions emerged. Meech began associating with people 50 has sparred with for years, fueling rumors that the two were at odds. And then came that canceled concert. It felt like the final straw, a public sign that their relationship was fracturing before our eyes.
Demetrius Flannery and his brother, Terry, ran one of the country's largest drug operations during the late 80s, 90s, and early 2000s.
Speculation started to swirl. 50 was dropping hints online, from cryptic social media posts to snide remarks about how the show wouldn't see the light of day. It was as if he knew something everyone else didn't. Reports soon surfaced that the real culprit might be deeper than petty feuds. Allegedly, Lil Baby, one of the hottest rappers in the game, was supposed to appear at the concert but never contributed financially. According to rumors, Big Meech expected artists to roll through and perform out of loyalty, or perhaps even for free. After all, Sexy Red teased she'd be down to perform for the culture without charging a dime.
"I love you and cheese because of Q. You made a mistake giving Screech, aka Big Meech, $100,000. You could have given that to your ninja emojis."
But star performers like Lil Baby or Rick Ross typically command hefty appearance fees. So if Big Meech really hoped for donations or free performances, it might have been too optimistic. Even Boozy publicly lamented that he dropped over $10,000 on hotels, travel, and prep for the big show, only to be left in the dark with no official explanation. He'd mobilized a whole entourage, and the show's abrupt cancellation left him out of pocket.
Who headed up the Black Mafia family, is also the source of a popular TV show that has been filmed right here in Atlanta.
That's when the whispers got louder. Was the entire event underfunded from the start? Did artists see the writing on the wall and decide to bail once they realized there might not be any real payout? Or did a behind-the-scenes influencer, like 50 Cent, pull strings to make sure the event unraveled? Either way, the fiasco raised doubts about Big Meech's comeback. The man, once linked to enormous sums of money through an illegal operation, had evidently lost the financial muscle to host a grand spectacle. The stage was set for even more controversy to unfold.
The pair had hundreds of employees, generated hundreds of millions of dollars, and even had a successful record label and magazine.
While rumors of no shows festered, another pivotal move set 50 off. Big Meech teamed up with Rick Ross to hype the concert. Now 50 and Ross share a well-known history of animosity stretching back years. Ross once trolled 50's entire persona, while 50 dragged Ross's credibility as a street figure by highlighting his days as a correctional officer. Their tension simmered beneath the surface, occasionally exploding in public outbursts or diss tracks. So imagine 50's reaction when he saw Big Meech, a man he once supported by creating a hit TV series about his life.
LOL, I'm not gonna blow you up, big bro, but Cuffy's nephew said he has the audio of him and 42 Doug on a three-way with Meech.
Smiling in a video next to Rick Ross promoting a historic event. For 50, that was a declaration of war. He took to social media, calling Meech a rat, tossing around accusations of snitching, and even suggesting that outside paperwork existed, ready to be released. Meech, for his part, wasn't about to let 50's public smears go unanswered. He posted a short statement, insisting he'd never cooperated with law enforcement, never snitched, and never would. However, the damage was already done. The internet thrives on sensational claims, and 50 is a master at feeding that beast.
But in 2006, the brothers were indicted in a federal RICO case originating out of Georgia.
Meech's denial got overshadowed by 50's flurry of memes, pointed barbs, and endless references to rats and mice. From that moment on, the war was declared. The canceled concert became a sideshow to a bigger drama, a personal rift between two powerful names in the hip-hop world. One of the most intriguing subplots in this tangled web is the position of Lil Meech. Only a few years ago, he was just known as Big Meech's son. Then 50 Cent arrived like a guardian angel, paying for acting classes and grooming Lil Meech to star in the BMF series.
And this week, after serving nearly 20 years in prison for racketeering, drug dealing, and running a criminal enterprise, he is out of prison.
This gave the younger Meech a newfound platform and recognition beyond his father's criminal history. But once Big Meech came home, tensions began to rise. Lil Meech started spending time with his dad's circle, which now involved Rick Ross. He even found himself mingling with Floyd Mayweather, another individual who shares an on and off rivalry with 50. Observers noticed 50's attitude shift drastically. Suddenly, the same man who had invested in Lil Meech's future began throwing shade on social media. Leaked text messages revealed Lil Meech pleading with 50 to maintain their friendship, explaining that Ross gave Big Meech some funds to hold him over until the next season of the BMF show. To 50, that was practically a betrayal. He responded by ridiculing both father and son, alluding to behind-the-scenes tension that threatened to jeopardize the BMF series. Lil Meech was caught in the crossfire between a father he'd idolized and a mentor who had propelled him into the spotlight.
And the individual was upset because he's saying, "Hey, homie, you tried to put me with Tammy."
It's a situation that only intensified when the canceled concert debacle painted Big Meech as disorganized and possibly broke, two things that would surely rile someone who once commanded entire city blocks. If there's one thing 50 Cent excels at, it's turning a feud into a spectacle. In this case, he appears determined to dismantle the Meech family's image step by step. First, he launched a GoFundMe campaign online, claiming it was to help Big Meech pay bills. The goal was set at a measly $10,000, a number seemingly chosen to mock the idea that Meech might be flat broke. Unsurprisingly, fans either laughed along or argued that 50's stunt was crossing lines. But 50 didn't stop with petty pranks. He insinuated that Lil Meech had issues so severe he needed to be sent to rehab during BMF filming, painting the younger Meech as someone in constant crisis. Then he rattled off a list of times he supposedly rescued Lil Meech financially, suggesting a debt owed that could never be repaid. He also doubled down on those snitching allegations, implying Big Meech only earned early release by providing authorities with insider information.
Now the Cuppy thing go back to 2011, 2012. So this 2017, Why did you try to put me with her?
Meech denied it, but in the court of social media, once a rumor latches onto the public mind, it's hard to shake free. Between the memes, the GoFundMe link, and the relentless commentary, 50 painted a picture of the Meech family on the brink of ruin. Their once glamorous reputation of wealth and power looked tarnished, while 50 strutted online, celebrating his ability to bend the narrative to his will. For those who follow hip-hop, 50 Cent's current spree should come as no surprise. He's earned a reputation for never letting a grudge go. His beef with Rick Ross stretches back to 2009 and has involved everything from cartoons mocking Ross to real-life lawsuits. He famously clashed with Jay-Z, accusing the rap titan of ducking direct confrontation, while also poking fun at Kanye West whenever the opportunity arises. Over the years, it's become clear that 50 doesn't see feuds as problems. He sees them as opportunities. They generate headlines, social media engagement, and brand expansion. While others might cringe at the negativity, 50 seizes the spotlight and thrives in the chaos. The more personal the drama, the more content he creates. Now that Big Meech and Lil Meech are in his crosshairs, the pattern remains the same.
The Big Meech benefit concert. It's gonna be iconic. Too many names to list, but let me salute some of the legends.
Sensational claims, scorching memes, and constant jabs. He exposes private messages to paint others as ungrateful or disloyal. He stokes rumors about financial issues to undermine credibility. And all the while, his name stays in the spotlight, even when he's not releasing music at the same clip he used to. It's a tried and true formula that keeps 50 relevant. If history repeats itself, he'll drag this feud out until it can no longer capture public interest. Then he'll pivot to the next target, leaving a scorched battlefield behind. At this point, the question is whether the Meech family can withstand the onslaught. Public perception matters, and Big Meech's canceled concert has given critics an open door to claim he's out of touch and short on funds. Meanwhile, Lil Meech's allegiance is torn, and his role in the BMF series is now overshadowed by personal drama.
Lil Baby, Boss Man D-Lo, 21 Savage, Sexy Red, Ricky Rose now.
Falling out with 50 Cent can be costly. He's already threatened to yank the BMF series from under them, if only to prove he holds the power. Even if that threat never materializes, the damage to their reputation may be enough to scare away potential investors, partners, or artists. If Big Meech is planning another comeback event or business venture, the swirling rumors about money troubles and the possibility that he wanted freebies could become a stigma. Despite all the chaos, some fans still stand with Big Meech, seeing him as a misunderstood figure who built an underground empire and now wants to move on. Others argue that 50 has gone too far, turning a private dispute into a public witch hunt. But in the end, the conversation remains centered on 50's terms. Is Meech a snitch? Is he broke? Does Lil Meech owe 50 his loyalty for life? A canceled concert was just the spark that lit the fuse.
Ricky Rose now. This the first time it's ever been done. Me performing BMF with the icon himself.
Now, the explosion of rumors, accusations, and social media stunts has overshadowed what was meant to be a triumphant return for a hip-hop legend. With 50 Cent's relentless campaign in full force, every move the Meech family makes is under the microscope. The question is, can they regroup, repair their image, and find their own foothold in the industry, or has 50 effectively shredded any chance of a smooth comeback? Only time will reveal how deep the damage goes. Perhaps Big Meech's story of reinvention is just beginning. He's certainly faced adversity before, but if there's one thing we know about 50 Cent, it's that he never forgets a slight, and he certainly doesn't lose his appetite for revenge. Wherever this war ends, it won't end quietly. Keep your eyes open, because in the world of hip-hop power plays, even the most unforeseen circumstances often have puppet strings attached. Who's really pulling them? That might be the next big question nobody saw coming.